Annyeong, it's Mikey here. Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and today we're going to be doing a really interesting Wooting mod where Cerakey sent me out the Peak60 case. So we have to thank Cerakey for sending me this out because I was really curious about a ceramic 60% case. So we're going to have to see how this is, but we also have to thank Toronto Keyboardman. They actually sent me out a Wooting modding kit, which is going to be a plate and foam that works with the V2, because I really wanted to build the V2 in this thing, and we're going to try to build the Thockiest Wooting 60 HE V2 we possibly can. So please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. Now introducing the Cerakey's Peak60. So thank you again, Cerakey's, for sending me this out. Now we get to look in here and see all these different packages they sent me. Now this is going to be a key point to this because this is the C set. So this is going to be the number pad set. And overall, Cerakey actually sent me out a full-on keycap set as well as the Peak60 case. Now, why is that the case? So when you get the Peak60, you're actually able to bundle together with a keycap set as well as the actual Peak60 case. So that's a lot of stuff that you actually get within this whole package, and you have a choice. You can just get the case alone, or you can actually go with this set that allows you to have the ceramic keycaps. And we're gonna have to see how deep can we make it by using both, as well as just using a regular keycap set and just using, whatever mods that we can do. So the idea is we're trying to make the deepest and thockiest wooting that is possible. But we can't do this without, of course, the Toronto Keyboardman and Cerakey's for this. Now we're going into the next set. So this is the B set. And they also provide you in the actual keycap set a extra switch, which is going to have a heavier spring. Now this is specifically for mechanical keyboards. You're allowed to get this keycap set and then the switch that allows you to be able to change the spacebar, because the spacebar is going to be a little bit of a heavier side with the specific keycap set. So you're going to want something a little bit heavier with the springs, and they actually provide you something to actually put in there so you're able to use it without any issues. But if you have a switch that works, you can just use your switch as well. Now this is going to be the blue side. So I got the two-tone version. So I get the blue and then I get the white with the blue legends. And as you can see here with the A set, you'll also see the blue legends that I get with this, which is really nice. I actually really appreciated this whole set, and it allows me to have a full keyboard pretty much with a numpad and everything with this keycap set. Now they do have a lot of different other ones, so you can always take a look and see what you're looking for. Just keep in mind one thing is the fact that it doesn't come with a split spacebar. So if you have a Alice keyboard, or pretty much what we're going to be doing today with the Wooting V2, we're not going to be able to use every single key, and we're going to have to kind of compromise and figure out what is the best way. Now take a look at the actual Peak60 case. Now this is interesting. This is a ceramic case, and I'm actually really curious how it's going to be. The fact that they provide you this carrying case alone is already so nice. I'm actually really appreciating the fact that it has this very, very nice carrying case. You get extra feet. You get a bunch of them. So depending on what you're looking for and how you feel, you can change it up. Or if you feel like one's broken and falls off, you can replace it easily, and they provide you that fact. And also they give you a screwdriver with the screws inside so that you can actually build your 60% keyboard. Now remember that this is a 60% case, so you have to use a 60% PCB, and you have to make sure that the USB port is going to be on the left side. So for example, a Venom MX would work in this, and so would a Wooting 60 or GT60. They actually have a list of different keyboards that you can actually use. But overall, I was quite impressed with this whole build. I thought it might feel a little bit more on the fragile side, but definitely feels quite well done. Though one thing to note, it is very light. I thought a ceramic keyboard case would be quite heavy. And I'm going to be giving you guys a stock sound test comparison first. But first thing off, this thing weighs 751 grams. So we did the stock Wooting sound test with the UFOs and the Nova. Now let's do a keycap change where we're going to use the ceramic keycaps with the original Wooting case. So as you can see here, I'm going to have to compromise a little bit. So keep in mind that because it doesn't have the split spacebars, I actually will have to use the right shift for the left spacebar. And then that way it's going to be able to kind of give you guys an idea what the sound should be. So let's go into doing that. Now, just the ceramic keycaps alone already made the board sound very, very deep, but I want to try another thing. So before we do the whole changing of plates and everything, I'm going to see if the friction fit works. And one thing you can note here is that you have to measure up the USB port carefully and make sure you put in that side first. So the top will go in first because they actually have a little section where it's going to fit right into that USB-C port, and that way you can have it safe and sound. Now let's do a sound test with that. Now, time to introduce you the actual modding kit provided to me by Keyboardman. Now, this is going to be an actual kit for the split spacebar version of the Wooting V2, which is really awesome to see because you're not able to use a lot of the 6% cases with the friction fit foam. So by having this foam kit, we're actually able to change it up and move things out so that we can actually use different types of cases, which is really going to be important because I really want to use this for different cases in the future. Now, they provided me a CF plate and there is a PC plate. Now, I'm going to do it with the PC plate because that's going to provide us a thockier sound profile. So right away, we're going to open up and take off all the screws on the back that's keeping the plate and the PCB together. So we'll remove every single screw on the back of the PCB. It is your choice if you want to remove the switches, but you would have to if you're going to do a plate switch, which I know that Keyboardman is working on many different plates for the V2, which is going to be exciting. I'm actually most excited to try out their palm plate, but I heard that they're actually working on something even different, which is going to be interesting, so you should really go check out what they're doing. Now we got all of that off. Time for us to put on all the foams. And there's going to be different foams. There's a lot of different ones you have to put on. There's actually going to be the PET sheet and then a PET, like a foam sheet that you have to put on, and make sure you actually take off the stabilizer. So because I didn't remove the stabilizer, you can see here that I'm cutting some of the pieces there just so that it can fit in properly. Now this is up to you. You can choose whether or not you do what I did, or you can actually just remove the stabilizers and then put that in on top. So this is just me being a little bit lazy to put this together. So now that we did that, we're going to put the foams on, and then now the PC plate. So we put a PC plate on top, which would help a lot with hopefully making this very, very deep. And then once we have it set up, we're going to, of course, have to screw it together. So you want to really screw it together because the switches for Hall Effect aren't like mechanical. It's going to be a little bit harder to keep everything in place, which is the nice thing about Hall Effect as well, because Hall Effect boards, if you really want to fix the stabilizers and stuff, you can actually just unscrew the PCB with the plate and then easily just take it apart, and the plate will actually keep all the screws and hold everything there. So that's something that's really nice about Hall Effect boards. Now, of course, I actually had a little bit of a mistake there in putting in all of the little foam sheets underneath the stabilizer portions. So make sure you put that on carefully. This is the things that happens when, you know, you go the lazy way out to fix this up and put it together. But there we go. We have the plate on, and time to screw everything together. Make sure you're holding one side because it's going to be a little bit tight.
So you want to make sure you're holding it in before you put in the screw, and then boom, you're easily done putting this all together there. Now that's all done, it's time to put in the board. Make sure you put the USB port in first, because they have a little section there in the Peak60 case where it's actually kind of holding the USB port in. I was hoping to see if I could put in both foams in there, but that was going to be way too tight and I couldn't fit actually all of it in, so I took out the thick foam and then I added just the thinner foam. And of course we're going to do stock keycaps, ceramic keycaps, but the ceramic keycaps is only going to be the Nova because I think that's the Thockiest. So just a few things to note. The right side of this case is actually not perfectly aligned. The left side, as you can see here, is actually quite tight. The front profile, you're going to have a little bit of a gap there with the keycaps, so just keep in mind that for yourselves, and especially if you add the foam. The USB port is quite nice where it fits it all in, and of course, make sure you are careful with the ceramic keycaps because there's no split spacebar, so I actually had to get creative there. But overall, it looked really nice. It does get a lot of fingerprints, but the case itself does not, which is nice.
So I hope this video helped you guys to see whether or not the Peak60 can really help you to get a very, very thocky Wooting 60 HE. My goal was to really make something very nice with what they provided me. And of course, we have to thank Cerakey and Toronto Keyboardman for this opportunity to make this. I'll have the links in the description where you guys can go check it out yourselves. And please check out the other videos I got, and I'll have to catch you guys next time.